Uh-huh. Okay, well, you do know that your owner is just playing superhero, right? You're just wearing some superhero pajamas.
Ha! Tiny dog, you so naive. Point me in the direction of any animal who needs my help and stand back. What?
I have to admit, going into Secret Lives of Pets Part 2, I didn't want to go. I didn't like the first one. I'm sorry. I thought the first one was so complicated and it was all over the place and I didn't think it was funny and I had a lot of problems with the first film. So, but you know what? I want to see it because I know it's very, very popular and I know it's got a huge following. So what I loved about this time is that they really did it right. How? They simplified it. They made it fun. And they also did these great stories that not only were simple in its origin, but also something for adults. You know, there's a lot of great inside jokes. And even though it's not Pixar, Illumination has its own style. It really does. You know, you can tell an Illumination film, if I can say the word right. So we have 3 stories going on. We have Max now, voiced by Patton Oswalt. He's going to the country along with Duke, you know, the big furry dog Eric Stonestreet does. But his humans have a baby now, and now it's a toddler. So they're going out for a couple days in the country. And Max is like a helicopter parent. He's so worried about everything and his safety for his little baby human. So every moment he has, he's trying to protect him from the outside world. So just like a parent, right? You know, but it's overkill. So once they get to the country, of course, things are going insane. You know, there's animals everywhere. There's danger everywhere. There's wild turkeys chasing people. You know, so he meets Harrison Ford's character, Rooster, who's this great farm dog, you know? He's like, hey, kid, that gravelly voice of his, you know, why don't you let this kid be a kid? You know, he's got to learn, you know, and so do you. You know, you got to stop being so scared of everything and your own shadow. You got to man up. So we have that whole story going on with Max going through this great story arc. The second story is before Max left, he has this busy bee. He has this little squeak toy that he loves, and he leaves it up there with Gina. Of course, she loses it because she loves the toy too, you know? So it's about her getting it in an apartment below that's filled with like 50 cats and this old lady watching television. So she's got to figure out how to be a cat to go undercover in there to rescue Busy Bee. And I think that Busy Bee is a joke from Best in Show, because that was the name of the toy in Best in Show, was Busy Bee, and they lost it before going to the big the big dog show. So that storyline's going on down there. Very, very funny. And I think Meredith Salinger does the voice of the old woman too. So it's hysterical with all the cats and everything going on. So that's got its own little story going on. And then the third one is probably the most adventurous storyline. You've got Snowball back, voiced by Kevin Hart, and Tiffany Haddish as Daisy. And this is such a weird storyline. There's an evil circus in town, and Sergey, there, I get the accent right. Sergey, voiced by Nick Kroll, who looks like a cross between the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and the evil witch, the Wicked Witch from the West from Wizard of Oz. He has this circus where he's got this tiger. It looks like a baby tiger, a white tiger. We know that in Vegas, right? Where he's abusing it, of course. So Daisy and Snowball go on this rescue mission to rescue the tiger, bring it back, put it in Max's apartment. But first they have to let it sleep overnight with Pops, voiced by Dana Carvey, and he's got all these other little puppies and all these other animals, and he's in his training boot camp on how to be tough. So you got all that stuff going on. And what's really cool is in the third act, they have to rescue the tiger again, because he's got this train, the circus train, going to the next city. So you have this incredible train rescue. Now, I just talked about this in Dark Phoenix. I love anything to do with trains. I love Mysteries on Trains. I love Murder Express. I love, what's that one called? The Tall Target. You know, it's one of my favorite films. Narrow Margin. Anything to do with trains. I just love movies that take place on trains, or sequences that do. Dark Phoenix had an incredible action sequence on a train. And now we have a tiger rescue on a moving train too. So very, very exciting. And then all those storylines, believe it or not, they all merge in for the third act. I won't tell you how, but they all come together and they all work together, with each character's journey helping each other in the final act. Yeah, can you tell by my voice? I just came from it. You know, I went and saw it on my own. I missed my screening. I loved it. I really did. I was expecting to hate it. I thought, oh, this is going to be for little kids and this is going to be so juvenile. It wasn't. The animation was spectacular. The dialogue, the writing was very funny. I love hearing Harrison Ford. Patton Oswalt does great. I met him for Ratatouille years ago, but he was great as Max, and just some of the funny side gags. It was really great. I mean, I think Lake Bell's character, that big fat gray cat, whatever her name is, she's probably one of my favorite characters. But overall, it was just a lot of fun. Believe it or not. Who would have thunk? Secret Life of Pets Part 2 was a great time. It really was. People are like, oh, Jeff, don't act so surprised. Well, you know me, I'm a critic, so I have to act surprised. Go see it. Take the family. Even if you're an adult, go see it. It was that much fun. I mean, just to see Harrison Ford playing a rooster. You know, what's the matter with you, kid? I mean, it's just hysterical. It really is. I was dying. The whole movie. It was so fun. And Kevin Hart, I love you, but sometimes, you know, you get annoying. You know, is that polite? I shouldn't say that. You were great as Snowball this time. You really were. I mean, I loved it. I loved everything. There was nothing I hated about this movie. I know some other critics that hated it. I'm going to call them up and go, yo, you're wrong. All right, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website, vegasfilmcritic.com. Check me out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you're watching on YouTube, which I hope you are, what did you think of Secret Life of Pets Part 2? You know, leave me a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard in Las Vegas. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.